Hello everyone. This is my match against Musasabi, the last challenge that we played. This is the finals of the challenge. And Musasabi is on colorless Mystic Forge. So what we really want here is a wasteland. And we want to start wastelanding very early and not give him any breathing room. This hand has no wasteland, but it has a disruptor flute, which is pretty important against Karn and the One Ring. And it also can get a wasteland with expedition map. And hopefully it's fast enough, so we end up keeping it. It starts with a key and a nexus. We draw an exploration, so we can do everything here. We can play the exploration and keep the flute up. It's possible that we want to flute a Karn preemptively because it would turn off our monks, but really that's not that important here. It's much more important to keep it open for the One Ring. So he goes tower, and he goes for double monolith and passes the turn. This is actually quite a problem for us because we have to spend this mana for the flute. We cannot just go to our turn because we need all the mana for the expedition map. But we also don't know which card to name here. Every card can be a problem here. Karn is a problem, the One Ring is a problem, and him passing the turn like this means he could have a Kozilek's command. So we just have to make a decision. I play the flute, and he responds by tapping all his mana. This means he has a Kozilek's command. There's no other reason to do this. I could name it, but that doesn't accomplish much. It only taxes it by 3 mana, which is it's not gonna change anything. So here I reason, well, he's gonna get a lot of mana and he's gonna draw the card he needs. I have to name Karn, because otherwise he just goes Karn Lattice and I lose the game. I'm in a pretty tough spot at this point, because if he just goes for a ring, well, we're also really dead, but there's not much we can do here. His hand lined up really well against ours. Okay, so I named the Karn. He goes for the Kozilek's. We draw for the turn, and it's not a very useful card. At this point I'm just thinking, what can I do to survive? Because I think I'm pretty dead. I cannot go for Thespian Stage, it's not gonna be fast enough. I could wasteland him, but that's just 3 mana. That's not gonna stop anything. So I think I'll try to do the thing that has the better chance of keeping me alive in the turns to come, which is going for a Tabernacle. Because maybe he at least spends his mana to use a Manifold Key, and thus he cannot draw extra cards with Ring. Along back. His upkeep, he untaps everything, he uses his key, which is a good sign. But he has a Forge, and so it won't matter. He's gonna play just everything, and we're super dead here. Double Flash Raker. Game 2, there's a lot of things we want to bring. Force of Vigors, Flutes, Needle, Tomb. And there are some obvious cuts like Maze of It, Bog, Step. We also cut the Cage here. The Cage stops the Mystic Forge, but we're on the play, and Mystic Forge is the least dangerous card for us, actually. We also have 3 Bosages and 2 Vigors to stop it, so it's a very narrow answer. And here I'm debating what to cut for this dismember, because dismember is actually quite useful. We can stop Karn and the one ring with flute, and then all that's left is the flash raker. That could give us a problem. So in game 1 they got to show how their fast start is so powerful, and now we're gonna show the same. We're gonna show how we can completely annihilate them. This hand is really good. You can go exploration, wasteland, rumble. You find a saga with rumble. And he has no turn 1 ring, double key, but no turn 1 ring. We draw our best possible draw, and what we want to do here is we want to first copy our wasteland with Thespian stage. This way we can play around surgical extraction, and then we start wasting them to death. This is what we do. We loam it back, and they draw and just concede. They're wasteland locked here. But to be fair, I had played Musasabi in this tournament before, and he won against me even though I waste locked him. He had an insane draw like Ancient Tomb, double key, Monolith, the one ring, and started drawing a million cards, and I still lost the game despite having him wasteland locked. Okay, so here all I want is I'm thinking of an extra dismember, because I'm on the draw and I really want to stop these flash rakers. This hand is just unkeepable. It's close to being very good if we could find a wasteland and then another land, but we really cannot count on it. We have to mold this one. This second hand is even worse. This hand has just nothing. It can crop rot for one wasteland, and that's it. So we have to ship it. Oof, this hand's also pretty bad, but at this point we are on the draw. We have two needle effects, and I mean, a multi-4 isn't going to be much better. We cannot even set a wasteland lock with a multi-4, and we are very, very vulnerable to a turn 1 ring regardless, so I think it's better to just keep this hand. Hope they go for an early ring or something and we can draw a wasteland. So we bottom a Mox and an exploration. He goes turn 1 key, and we draw Boseiju. So this is really the only meaningful decision we have to make here. Do we Boseiju their land, or do we play a Disruptor Flute? Remember, he has no basics, so a Boseiju is just a strip mine here. My concern is, it's hard for me to imagine that he would keep a hand that is super vulnerable to one wasteland. He's probably gonna try to play his least important land first, and so I don't want to spend my only wasteland effect here. Of course, if I had wastelands and loams I would, but I'm thinking what I really want to happen is pass a turn and he goes for a ring and I can needle it. And then if I draw a land, I can Boseiju his second land, which should be his most important land, and we can go from there. I'm also thinking that I'm completely dead to a Karn here. It stops our Mox, and then we're left with what? A Thespian stage and a needle. It's not good. So my plan here is to preemptively name a Karn to stop him from casting it. Hope he plays a one ring without extra mana, so he just draws one card and then we can needle on our turn. So it's what I do. We name a card. He has a tower, but he also has extra mana. And with that, he can draw 3 cards with a ring. Really not good. In our turn, we also do not draw a land, so we cannot Boseiju Needle. At this point, we don't have any alternatives. We just have to Needle. But we're pretty bad shape here. Plays a Workshop. Flash Raker into Mystic Forge, into a billion cards, and we're just dead. This just shows how powerful this deck is if you let them untap with lands. You shouldn't allow them, but sometimes that's how it goes. So that's pretty much the game. GG's.